Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me. If you are here live for 3 o'clock, it is time for Dear Janette. And today we are having another new Dear Janette. And it is all about why media contacts aren't enough. Now, I'll explain that in a minute, but first, before we start, I want to tell you a little bit about who I am and what this Dear Janette series is all about. So, I am Janette Burke, and I am a media personality, a producer, an interviewer, a TV show and podcast host, and an on camera media trainer. So, when I say TV show and podcast host, I am a 4-time award winning host and creator of the lifestyle show Janette's TV and its sister spinoff, Janette's TV podcast. And I've been in this media business over 25 years on both sides of the camera. I started out as a PR person with my own boutique PR firm, and I moved from behind the cameras to in front of them as a media interviewer and journalist. So, what is the Dear Janette live series? Well, it is a new live series that I recently started. I think this is the third one now. And what it is this is a series where I talk about things that you need to know if you're looking to make media and media appearances an integral part of your marketing. And of course, you should be. So, Dear Janette Live is where I bust media myths you may believe to be true. I talk about what media is and how it works. And I also talk about how to look, sound, and feel your best on camera with my tips. So these are media training, on camera media training tips to improve your communication, presentation, and performance skills. And that's what I do in Dear Janette Live. This is what the series is all about. And it's really designed to make you your best on camera every time you need to go on camera, whether that's for a media or podcast interview, when you're making your own videos and lives from your camera or on social media, when you're conducting Zoom meetings or meetings that are on similar platforms, and so on and so forth. That is what Dear Janette is all about. Now, today's topic is why aren't media contacts enough? And this again is something that I call a media fallacy, because I'm also in Dear Janette busting media myths that you may believe to be true. So, one big media myth is as long as I have the right contact, or as long as I have the right publicist with the right contact, I will consistently be booked to be a guest on various media platforms, outlets, and podcast outlets too. And that may be partially true in the beginning, but it's not true for consistent booking. So, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that the contact, it's not enough. It may help you in the beginning, but it won't lead to long-term media success. And that's what you're after. Because if you're going to be using media to grow your business and brand and spread your message, you need to be in it for the long run. And why wouldn't you be? When having a media placement is one of the best ways to be known and to generate leads and grow your business. And having a traditional media placement is just as good as, if not better, than having an online placement, which today is very important too, because streaming is where it's at and everybody's on social all day long, and Facebook has a community of billions of people, and so on and so forth. So you want to have optimal results, with your marketing, and you want media to be an integral part of your marketing, and you want it to reflect traditional and online and streaming and print and radio. You want a mix of it all because it is still one of the best, if not the best and the fastest way to grow your business and brand and bring in leads and make money. It's still one of the best ways to connect with audience and your audience. So, your ideal clients, and have them reach back and know you, and you close a sale from that. But the thing is, you've got to be the type of guest that the media wants to book. And that has to happen over and over and over again. So the question then becomes, so why aren't media contacts enough? Why isn't it enough to know who to pitch, when to pitch, or to have somebody pitching that for you via a publicist? Because at the end of the day, your story, your pitch is only half the battle. Meaning that there are other elements involved to you being the desirable guest that the media wants to book over and over and over again. And they're going to be looking at that, and they're going to be deciding whether or not you do make for the type of guest that they really want to feature or not. So, of course, your story and your pitch is going to be part of it, because you want your marketing message told. You want it out there. And you're going to have to be able to tell that well. But there's other elements to being a prepared media guest that comes off well, that presents well, that is the type of guest the media wants to book. And that has nothing to do with the contact. You see, you can get that spot and you can be booked, or your publicist can book it too. But it begs the question, so now what? You have the spot. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do to make sure that you are maximizing that spot, so that you're not wasting a golden opportunity for publicity and exposure that you can never get back? So it's not enough to have the spot. It's what you do with the spot that's going to be the catalyst for you to have results with your marketing, and the media spots are part of your marketing. So what are you going to do with that spot? Okay, congratulations, you got the spot, whether you got it yourself or whether your publicist got it, whether you have, made the right connection to get you in the first time. That's great, congratulations. But now what? What is going to happen? How are you going to ensure that you don't waste that spot, and that you aren't, on there for seconds and then pulled off? Or worse, that you're not a one and done. Now, this is a phrase I've coined, one and done. What does that mean? It means you are booked once and never again, because you were such a lousy guest that nobody else wants to book you, or you're not going to be invited back to the media outlet that you appeared on. And so what makes for a lousy guest? A lousy guest is the type of guest that comes in with no training. And again, this isn't something that the media contact is going to give you. That's something they're going to expect you to come in with. So let's talk about what makes for the ideal guests that, producers and their assistants love, that make you so desirable that you will be booked time and time again, as opposed to the one and done. So I know some of this. Obviously, I'm in the media. I also do training. Pardon me, I'm coughing like crazy today. I don't know what's going on. And I'm also a producer, so I know for myself and my colleagues what we look for in the ideal guest. When we book you, we expect you to come in knowing your subject well. We expect you to fit the allotted time that we've given you. And we also expect you to have like the segment prepared in the theme or the story idea or the hook or the angle that we've asked you to make it, which means that you're going to have to be spot on, because you're literally going to have a matter of minutes to fit all of this. And every word that's going to come out of your mouth from the minute you show up on camera to the minute you leave in your segment is going to count. So you got to make the most of it. Now, if you have no preparation, aka media or on camera training, it is likely that you will not fit the segment. You will either go in a different direction, you could ramble on, or you could attempt to say everything there is to say about your business. You could come in and be like the know-it-all guest, or you could be the one that is very quiet and very subdued. Both do not make for the best ideal guest. We are looking for guests that know their subject matter well, that can speak and articulate well certain aspects of their business and their message to fit the story that we have in mind, or the segment that we have in mind, or the hook or the angle that we have in mind. And again, this is going to move quickly, and it's going to have to be done in a matter of minutes. So you're going to have to be spot on. We are looking for somebody who can do that, who can relay the most relevant parts of their business story or their marketing message in those minutes, in the segment theme. And most people are not naturals at that. Most people, business people, CEOs, executives, politicians, celebrities who ace media interviews, it's because they've had media training and on camera training, and they know how to switch it up, and they know how to take their exact message and pick it apart and extrapolate the pieces that are going to fit that segment and say it well with enthusiasm, because the audience is watching and they want to walk away with relevant, useful information that will impact and enhance and benefit their lives. And we, as media people, producers, interviewers, hosts, we have like a responsibility to make sure that our audience is getting that, and that we're not bringing them guests that are just relaying a bunch of information in the form of an infomercial to sell them, because nobody wants to be sold and nobody wants to hear somebody as a guest ramble on like that. So we want to make sure that you do know what you're doing in those seconds, and every second counts. And not only does it count because we want our audience to be filled with great information, useful information, but we also have a responsibility in the fact that we have an image to uphold for our show. And you also have an image to uphold, because your credibility is at stake. And you are going to either do a disservice to your brand, or you're going to like knock it out of the park. So you decide what you want, but I can tell you the difference is media training. So that is what we're looking for when we talk about guests that we want to book. We want the great guests that know how to handle it all and come off smelling like a rose on camera, and don't appear nervous, and can easily spread their message in a very short time frame, and know how to pull and extrapolate. These are things I teach my clients how to do. But more importantly, we also need a guest that has some umph and some personality and some life to them. So that has to do with the way you perform and the way you communicate and the way you present yourself. And there's an art to doing that too. And these are the things that we as media people look at to see, how good are you? How comfortable are you on camera? How are you able to speak? How are you able to use your body to communicate your message? How's your eye contact? How's your voice techniques? How are you able to story tell? How are you able to exemplify your message using props, using statistics, analytics, and various other things that make for a very strong guest and an even stronger interview. So if this is sort of things that you are lacking, then you're going to want to work with me and make sure that you polish those skills right on up to become the desirable guest that the media wants to book over and over and over again, and that you're not a one and done, and that you're actually utilizing media to your advantage in your marketing, and you're benefiting as well as the audience, as well as the media outlet, and that you're all in this win-win situation where you're all sort of in it to win, doing each other proud. And this is what I'm trying to tell you, is that the media contact is really only half the battle. That'll get you the spot, but it's what you do with the spot that's going to make or break you. And the truth is that these interviews, they're recorded and they're spread everywhere today like lightning, like firework, right? And they're all over the internet. They're everywhere. And you can't take it back. Like once it's being filmed, it's done. It's there. It could be there forever and it could haunt you because other media might see it and they might say, "Oh my God, what was that interview all about?" And like it just was so bad. You did waste that golden opportunity for publicity and exposure. And they may be very hesitant to then want to book you for their show. Or you could come and work with me and you could get the media training and the on-camera training that you need and show them, yes, I am the desirable guest and I can knock this out of the park every single time for whatever show you book me on, or whatever podcast you book me on, or a radio show you book me on, or print article that I'm going to be talking to a journalist and being quoted on. I can do it and I can do it well. And I don't have to worry that I'm going to be misquoted or taken out of context or put on the spot. I am the desirable guest. And that is what we do for you at Janette Burke Productions. So we first train you to make sure you are very good and that you are giving like a superb interview. And then we give you a shot on Janette's TV and podcast to showcase the skills we've given you in the training period. And in so doing, we are developing not just an episode for you, but actually a demo reel that you will have to show other media that, yes, I can be the desirable, credible guest that you're looking for. So this is just part of what we offer you in working with me, either with my interview showcase package, or if you're not interested in being a guest on or an interviewee on Janette's TV and Janette's TV podcast, but you are interested in going out on a media tour and having awesome media interviews and being the guest that gets booked over and over again as opposed to the one and done, you want to work with me just on your on-camera presence and your media training skills, you can do that too. I have the one-to-one on-camera media training offer, which is a package on its own. It works well with the interview showcase package as an aftercare. It also works as a solo thing for pre-care, however you decide. I'd love to talk to you and learn more about what it is that's holding you back from appearing on camera or from being that ideal guest that gets the yeses versus the nos. If you're out there right now trying to get media and podcast placements and you're not getting booked, I'd like to know why that is, and I'd like to work with you to change that around. So to learn more about how to work with me, you can visit my website at www.janetteburke.com. There is a section Work with Janette. That link is below. If you'd like to book a 15-minute complimentary discovery call with me, feel free to do so. We can talk about your hang-ups, what's holding you back from getting what you need. And that you can just go to www.janetteburke.com, book Janette. That's on the contact page. That link is also below. You can book your 15-minute complimentary discovery call with me. We can chat about it. If you would like more content like this, more Dear Janette videos, you can visit my blog at www.janetteburke.com/blog1. We have an array of other Dear Janette videos you can watch, you can learn from. That link will also be below. And if you're watching me now live, thank you so much for joining me. If you have a question, now's a great time to talk to me about it. Or if you're watching me on replay, just come back, put your comments in the chat. I will look, I will answer. If you have a particular topic you would like me to cover in a Dear Janette, put it down. We take requests, if you will, all the time. You may just get picked for a future Dear Janette Live. And we hope that you'll see us next time. Next week, we'll be back Monday. That'll be, today's the 7th, so that'll be November 14th with another Dear Janette Live at 3 o'clock. Haven't decided what the topic will be yet, but you can see our promotion during the week and it will have it there. Just know that we are always live 3 o'clock on Mondays for Dear Janette right here in my group, Dear Janette, on Facebook. You can join the group and participate, or you may be picking this up from another post on another platform. You can join the group and come and join me live. We're out of time for today, so thanks again for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you next time, and I also look forward to seeing you in the spotlight. Bye for now.